on our mob switch video. In the last video, which I'll link, we covered how to build a 115 mob switch, but Mojang have changed some of the mob mechanics, so now that our Shulkers that used to sit in the minecarts, you can see them in the green tower behind me, no longer count towards the mob cap. I've come up with a tweak to our old mob switch in order to help us use it in 116. Nice thing about this tweak is that if you build 115 mob switch behind me, big tall one, we can reuse the Shulkers in that. We don't need to go and get a whole bunch of new Shulkers. And if you haven't already built that, then it's just as, in fact, it's probably even easier to build a new mob switch compared to the old one. A lot less materials required, and it arguably works in a more simple manner. In this video, we're not going to cover how to bring the Shulkers over to the overworld, because we covered that in the 115 video. Go and watch that video if you want to find out about the mechanics of doing that. It's not that difficult to do, but there are a couple of intricacies that you need to know about around where the Shulkers appear once you push them through the portal in the end. And then how to manipulate them and get them into minecarts and so on. We still need to put them into minecarts to bring them to our mob switch. And once they're at the mob switch, we take them out and then they count towards the mob cap. So let's go and have a look at the revised 116 mob switch. So here you'll see our new 116 mob switch. You'll see that it is in fact pretty simple. It's basically two walls of pistons which push the Shulkers either in or out of loaded chunks. So this is built right on a chunk boundary. Let's turn on the chunk boundary so that we can see it. There we go. So this big red wall is the boundary between the spawn chunks in here and outside the spawn chunks. And again, just like 115, go watch the video. You can build this either on the edge of your spawn chunks, or you can build it further away. I've got another one over there that's built in sub chunks that we can load with a chunk loader. Chunk loader mechanic works exactly the same. So in the last video, we showed how to build this 115 mob switch in an area loaded by a chunk loader. Then you can turn on and off the chunk loader to turn on and off the mob switch, or you can leave the chunk loader on all the time and move the Shulkers from one side to the other, either in or out of the chunks. Same thing works with the new mob switch. So the Shulkers would be over here. Let's put this one in here. So that Shulker is currently outside the spawn chunks, so it won't be loaded if we go far away. But when we come back, it'll still be there. It won't despawn or anything. Shulkers have the magic ability never to despawn, even if they're relatively intact. And I'll hit this switch. Let me turn down my block noises. Okay, so when we hit this switch, it moves the Shulker in or out of the loaded chunks. So if you remember, we need 70 Shulkers for every player in your world, and I would recommend having around 100 pistons on each side for every 70 Shulkers. I'll get into why in a minute. They don't need to be sticky pistons, so you're not going to build this too early in the game because you need to get to the end and collect the Shulkers, but you don't need to use sticky pistons, which are a bit more expensive than normal pistons. We'll also go through how to build this shortly. The redstone's fairly simple, but we'll cover it briefly anyway. And we'll go and talk about how to get our Shulkers into this right now. So before you move your Shulkers into it, you want to disable the pistons on both sides. So let's get rid of this redstone torch. Put a button here for the time being. the reason we've got cobwebs and buttons and end rods and things all over this is because we need to spawn proof the outside of it so that the shulkers stay in the inside. Can't give the shulkers any valid spaces to jump to aside from the surface of the distance. There are only a few things in the game that I'm aware of. There might be more, so if other people know, let me know in the comments. But the way you can block a shulker from jumping onto a block is by placing a few things on it. You can use buttons, redstone, or end rods, or cobwebs. We can turn off that jump boundary. Cobwebs, or I believe glass used to block them, but it doesn't anymore. Minecart rails stop them jumping as well, and switches. They don't jump onto hoppers or cactus, and they'll otherwise jump onto about anything else. They will jump onto the side back or distance if you don't block that. So they'll basically jump anywhere as long as there's a full block for them to land on. So you can use honey blocks as well. In fact, there's a few more blocks over here that I've placed on. They won't jump to. So they won't jump to grass paths, or blocks with buttons, or redstone, or blocks with torches. Cobwebs, honey blocks, they won't jump onto. So, how do we get our shulkers in here? Assuming we've built it, which we'll get onto shortly. I'm going to assume that you've got your shulkers in your 150 mob switch, and you're going to be upgraded to 160. The way we get our shulkers out of this, and this is fairly simple. And if you haven't built this, then you're probably going to want to build a big tube anyway for your shulkers to go into, because once you pick them up, watch the 150 video again, and when you pick the shulkers up from after they come through from the end in the minecart, you need to get them all into one place, because otherwise minecarts are a real pain to mess about with. Because if you send your minecart along a rail, if you send lots of minecarts along a rail at once, they can bump into each other, or one will get to the end and bounce off, and all sorts of annoying things. So you probably want them all in one relatively compact space and close to the mob switch. Not too close. Remember, shulkers can jump update blocks. So as long as you've blocked any jumpable spaces within blocks, you should be okay. And they switch here to power the rail. So either you've got a mob switch full of shulkers, or you've got somewhere where your shulkers are sitting in minecarts. After watching 115, bring the shulkers over. So what we're going to do is block off this water column, extend the rail so that whenever we push the shulker out, it's going to carry on over to our new mob switch. So let's do that quickly. So just break the bottom of this water column. Then some concrete. Turn down the shulkers. Let's extend our rail. Curvy normal rail. And there, and switch. There we go, that's all powered. Let's shoot bring our shulkers all the way over. So what's going to happen is they'll come over to the minecart, they'll hit this activator rail, which will kick the shulker out of the minecart. Minecart will break on the cactus and end up in the chest. If you've got 70 shulkers, chances are you want a few more chests in this. Because obviously minecarts don't stack, the shulker will look for a space to jump onto one of these piston walls. Sometimes it takes a while for the shulker, you'll see in a minute, sometimes it takes a while for the shulker to find a spot to jump to. So that's why I said you probably want to get your shulkers all in one place and relatively close to this, because we only want to send a new shulker over. The old shulker has jumped and otherwise the minecart will just bump into it. And I have to go through the faff of trying to get the minecart to move top of the activator rail once the old shulker has jumped. Because once the shulker's in a minecart, the only way to get it out is to send it over an activator rail. So we want to get rid of this clock. This clock circuit used to power this piston and send our minecart over and up the water column. So really, we want to make it basically a manual switch. Every time we push this button on the shulker, minecart moves over. So let's go. So the minecart's over here. It does a funny glitch where the shulker looks like it's coming from behind you, even though it gets kicked out by the activator rail. So let's do that again. Get the next one over. And the reason we deactivated one side, both sides of this, brought these guys over was just to give them a bit more room to find a valid space to jump to. So we're going to send, this will take a few minutes. If you've got 70 shulkers, we're going to send them all over. I've only got 10 in this example. So in fact, let's check our mob count. So at the minute, you'll see the green number up the top, where it's 5/70. That means we have 5 mobs out of our 70 mob cap. And that's because there's 5 shulkers attached to these pistons. There's another 6 shulkers in this tube. They don't count because they're sitting in minecarts. So once that 5 number should go up to 6 once this guy jumps out. Yeah, we don't want to just use the existing clock for this because sometimes the shulker sits at the end there, top of the they'll sit top of the activator rail for a while, especially once you start filling up the wall. By keeping the pistons apart, you essentially get twice the jumpable spaces for the shulkers. It can, once you've got 50 or 60 shulkers on the walls, you can take them 30 seconds maybe to find a space to jump to. See, guy sitting there. And the last one in this demo. Okay, so now we have 11 shulkers in our new mob switch. Obviously, decorate this however you want. I just used a mixture of the various blocks that stop the shulkers jumping onto the surfaces. So again, if you have not built this full mob switch in mod 15, that's fine, but you are going to want probably a big empty tube for your shulker minecarts to sit in close to the new mob switch so that you can put them in one at a time, instead of trying to send multiple along the track at once, because the minecarts interfere with each other, or that shulker sitting on the activator rail will cause the other minecarts to bump into it and then get all backed up. So now we want to activate our mob switch. We want to put the torch back here. And to do this quickly, because this block is within 8 spaces of this piston wall, so if you don't replace it quickly, then the shulker might jump in. So there we go, and it doesn't matter if these pistons make one shulker push directly into another. If they do that, the 2 shulkers in one space will be fine, because entity cramming's around 24, I think. So as long as you don't have 24 shulkers in one space, you're going to be perfectly fine. And the way this is set up, again is hit the switch. I'll move back into the loaded or unloaded chunk. There we go. So I've got my render distance in this world set quite low so that we can demonstrate this. So here's all our shulkers are inside the spawn chunks. Should stay loaded as we move away. So the 1170 number at the top of the screen says there's 70 or 11 hostile mobs loaded out of the mob cap. For some reason, jumped out of 10. It's back. And that's why I jumped out of 10, because I did not fully shulker proof these blocks. So, see, one of our 11 shulkers is out here, so it's outside the spawn chunks. This chunk unloaded on the way. Only the 9 in there, and this one stay loaded. So let's kill these guys. Use the kill command, limited to 2. So let's shulker proof these. Actually, shulker proof it a bit further out just in case. So we now have 9 shulkers in here. 970. Let's move them outside the spawn chunks. Let's move away and see if they despawn. Or let's move away and see if they become unloaded. So we should get move 6 chunks away because of my render distance. There we go, 6 chunks. They disappeared. So that's the new 116 mob switch. So move your shulkers inside loaded chunks to keep them loaded all the time, and that will stop any other hostile mobs in your world spawning. Move them back outside loaded chunks to enable hostile mobs in your world to spawn. And again, check the 115 video for how to build a chunk loader so that you can build this anywhere. Probably best to put it near your spawn chunks though, since that's where the shulkers appear from the end. And again, the 115 video will show you the full mechanics of moving shulkers over to the overworld from the end. So why don't I build a small one of these just to show you how to do it. Just set a white concrete block there as something to build around. So we need to put our piston. We need to leave one space on each side of the chunk boundary for our pistons. Again, the other video will show you how to find your spawn chunks, your chunk boundaries, and the size of the spawn chunks and everything. So I like using sticky pistons. We're going to use sticky pistons for this. Let's assume we had, I'm not going to build the full 100 on each side, so I'm going to 6, 36. The design can be expanded infinitely. So even though these guys are getting kicked out of the minecart up towards the end of this wall, they will start moving around the entire 100, even though they can only jump 8 blocks, so they'll spread themselves out eventually. Okay, we need another piston right here. So that's one. Sorry, put that too far away. So once the piston walls are up, there should be 2 blocks between them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2 blocks between them. 6, 6, 6, 2, 3, 6. That's the full wall. And have a minecart middle through the middle, so it doesn't really matter which side it's closest to. Just whatever direction you want. We'll chuck our don't put the curly bits in if you can help it. Then we'll stick some rails along this. I'll get rid of the chunk boundaries. So we want a cactus on the end. This is going to be an activator rail. And that running into a cactus, which has to sit on sand, obviously. First, so sand here, this here. In fact, this will all part because this piston should have to break the cactus. So the cactus has to be layer lower. Then we can have our chest right here. A series of chests down below just to catch 70 minecarts. Run some. Can't have that. Chest won't open. So there we go. So that will catch our minecarts once they break. And now we need to think about how to turn on and off our pistons. So the way the piston wall is going to work V-powered is just a few lines of redstone. So let's do the first one. The first one should be on the second row of pistons, going second row from the bottom. Then we're going to have another one, two above that. And we're going to use some glass to run our redstone signal up. So we want glass. If we're going to build this higher, then we would do this and put our concrete every two. So let's show you how that works. Let's take let's turn on redstone. So if you take a redstone dust out of that, then power can carry on underneath this glass. It'll run straight through, but it will also travel up the glass. So if you use this arrangement where you take the dust down while at the same time run it up the glass. So I'm going to have a Lightmatica schematic of this mob switch in the description and a link to my Lightmatica tutorial. I also like putting a redstone feeder here every layer because depending on how big you make this, if you have a couple of people in your multiplayer server, you might end up with like a 2x100 wall or a 2x200 wall just to get the full number of shulkers. Also, as you get further away from this switch, you'll hit the 15 limit, so even if you're doing a 100 piston wall, you'll need feeders towards the top of this to get all the pistons to activate the whole way along. So, run our redstone signal. So, we only put 5 layers on here, which makes it a bit annoying. So, if you have an odd number of piston layers, then you're going to need to run your redstone signal through or along the top of the pistons. But if you have an even number of layers, like we do the 100 piston walls, then our top row will be right in front of the top row of pistons will be right in front of the top row of rates, and that will power both the top row and the row below it. And that's it. So that's how you power a full wall. So we're going to repeat that on the other side. Run the signal across this way because you put in a redstone torch here. We're basically inverting this signal. So when this switch is powering these pistons, this redstone torch will go off. The switch is turned off, this torch will go on. So it's pretty basic inverter. We just bring our concrete right here. We're making exactly the same thing on this side. So, I forgot our tip for the glass. Glass is there. Throw in a couple of repeaters. I will need to put the repeaters before we get to the pistons, because the piston won't take any power from the block that the repeater is on top of. So it needs to come before the pistons start. So turn all our redstones down. Here we go. And that's going to push the shulkers back and forth across the chunk boundary. Of course, make it a bit bigger. Yeah. Let's turn off those boundaries again. And obviously, you also need to shulker proof all the surfaces. And this is where it gets a bit annoying, because inevitably you'll miss one out by mistake. So I would just spam buttons everywhere. That's probably the cheapest and easiest way to do it. I kinda like how the cobwebs look. So my survival world, I've used cobwebs. And remember to power the activator reel. Other reels. Remember to put in a curvy reel here. And that's it. You send your shulkers in here, and hit that activator reel. Remember to turn off both walls when you're doing this, and shulker proof the block where the torch was. Send them in, activate a rail, kick them out, they'll find the home on the wall, and do that for all 70 of your shulkers. And it's your brand new 116 off, which arguably it's definitely not as pretty as this one. I'm sure you can make it look pretty. Just if you're building something around this, make sure and either build it more than 8 blocks away so they can't jump to it. Remember, if you watch the other video, you'll see that had a rather large, rather long railway here using the Graceworks Infinite Railway Bridge Builder. So you can just take this and direct it into your new mob switch instead of building this older one. But I would recommend that your shulkers first go into a big tube, because it's much easier to send them one at a time into the mob switch if they're all in one place to begin with. It's not that hard to send them up to the top of the tube and drop them down. Just build a zigzaggy diagonal railway upward to power it. And over here, you don't need any of this clock business. That was just left over from the old mob switch. What you need to do is stick a button there, that'll push your shulkers out one at a time. So guys, thanks for watching the 116 mob switch video. Pretty sure this is the first working 116 mob switch on YouTube, and I'd really appreciate it if you give us a big like and a subscribe, because me and my son are trying to grow this channel. You'll see some non-tutorial videos on here where myself and my son play together in our survival / creative world. I try to stick to survival while he likes to mix it up between survival and creative. Anyway, we've got some of those videos coming. I've got most of our storage system series recorded with Shulker loaders and unloaders and item filters for almost every kind of item that you need to filter, with an excellent storage system, an excellent bulk storage system, and an excellent multi-item storage system. So check back again soon for those, or again hit subscribe and you'll get notified when those videos come out. So thanks for watching, and see you again soon.